Hello viewers, Konek here, and I am continuing the double feature on Farhan the Movie Guy's travesties of journals. Previously I went over his Clay Claymore Gets Own script, and now I'm ripping one of his actual rants to shreds. This guy has plenty to rummage through with rants, but there is one in particular I'll be making jabs at. A rant reflecting so much on his actual issues while trying to escape those faults as foolproof as he thinks it will fare. Yup. His rant on the plagiarism incident he had. Look at the label he gives this drama. It makes it sound like it's at a near level importance as something like the War of 1812 or something. And in the thumbnail, we see a neurotic version of Blue from Dick Figures next to a very bad Wanted poster. The rant fist he uses also is reminiscent of numerous other users, beyond the obvious one who's apparently an anti-Semite. Though before I start off with this shit show of a commentary, there are some things I forgot to say about Farhan or some corrections. Some will be saved for later. Tying in with the Clay response, he wrote a status post closely related to the own script in question.
Holy crap! But I don't really think it's gonna matter since Clay's dumbass fantards will devour anything he vomits out of his mouth and white knight him regardless, while praising him like he's Jesus Christ!
Farhan, your hate motor is protruding out. Cover it up! In all seriousness, stop treating it like most of Clay's fans will throw a fit over criticisms given towards him, and that they blindly agree. That's not a pleasant start, but it only goes further downhill due to his nearly identical wording of what was in the original script. You see, fellas, this is proof he relies on a dictionary of random adjectives and verbs and reuses them in the same contexts.
Another thing, he is basically an ignorant moron who insults various people by calling them autistic. And yes, it really irritates me considering that I am a human being with autism myself.
Wow, I couldn't sense that. Plus, it's kind of an abrupt change in heart for you because you were previously fine with having autism being used as an insult. Specifically about Shay Cook's video.
It's a vicious spiness.
Hashtag join the resistance.
What resistance? Besides those disenfranchised pussies who don't want to hear a pint of negative feedback towards the people Clay talks about, most people would not want to join your resistance. Surrounding the journals Farhan makes, if you were expecting me to tackle a different journal of his, they pretty much intertwine with one another, with only a few different points or excuses added. Yes, most of his journals retread old territory, a painful reminder on how little variety he has. Lastly, as a brief response to a comment written by Golden Koso, I don't really think me not talking about these IGA numbnuts is going to make that part of my following vanish. As long as there are public videos and comments of me bad-mouthing its community, they'll flock to it. Though as you can tell from some of the more recent output, the amount of IGA and other user group related rants I have produced has diminished. Outside of a few more bad apples left, I'm looking at you, Julian Song. I might be done with them by the beginning of 2018. Alright, time to tear this journal apart. Well, most of it. This would likely be my longest video to date, so get comfy. On a couch, or on a fucking table, I guess.
Disclaimer. Before I begin this rant, I would just like to make two disclaimers. My first disclaimer is that this is going to be a pretty angry rant. There is a big reason for this, though.
Yeah, because trivial reasons are big reasons. I am aware that these things may mean a lot to some little sensitive prick like yourself. In fact, some of my own rants show off me complaining about a few trivial reasons. The difference between the two is that I am mostly aware of it where you may not be. Even at 14 years old, which you are right now, I don't think I treated such reasons as bombastically as you had. Then again, I kinda cried over some trivial bullshit, as you do.
If you don't like my angry behavior, I highly suggest you be careful when paying attention to it.
That part doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I guess you're saying that we shouldn't anger you, but I must be careful when paying attention to it? If that's what you're trying to say, you're golly, I'm scared. I'll be cowering and whimpering in the closet. Well, I would if I were the most anxious human out there, so I'll persist.
My second disclaimer is that what I say in this post is 100% true. I am not playing the victim card or anything of that nature.
You will really need to have this disclaimer ingrained into your memory for the rest of the video. I don't trust Farhan enough for him to tell the honest truth, so I won't take his word on everything.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, I guess it's a good thing you don't want your fans to look at the journal. As soon as the statement is over, he puts in action for an intro playing. I don't need to reiterate what I said about his unwatchable intro, but I do have a correction to make. You see this intro? Yeah, Farhan wasn't even the creator behind it. Instead, a friend of his that remains anonymous made the intro. The only plus to come out of this realization is that Farhan actually has a friend. Good on you, but I hope he doesn't realize what you're doing is only giving your detractors more material.
It's been 7 fucking months since this drama first started, and it is unfortunately still going on to this very day.
And you wonder why. I won't jump the gun here, so I'll allow you to explain before I discuss my gripes.
Anyways, greetings fellow deviants. This is me, yours absolute truly, Farhan the movie guy, or Master Movie Simulator 9000, right here. And I'm back for another rant. Today's rant, however, will be on a pretty special topic. It won't be on a certain show or movie I dislike. It will actually be on the
2017 plagiarism incident.
Why is that? Simply put, I absolutely despise this incident so much, to the point where I just have to rant on it, so I can fucking get it off my chest. And judging by the fact that it's still going on, it's really quite obvious that I'm still furious and pissed off about it.
Huh? You're angry? I thought you were afraid or excited with the bolded all-caps words and the tone the opening gave me. Actually, you're not enraged. You're trigger-happy. Oh, and thanks for mentioning your rants on cartoons or movies, which you make atrocity cards out of. Even before your implied disowning of Clay Claymore, you made a bunch of these off of SML episodes you didn't find to fit your taste.
Jeffrey said the word faggot. That's offensive to my gay friend.
Now to the smaller issues prevalent in this opening. You don't need to play up your introduction this much, and about the name. Except if you are doing a rebrand, please stick to one name in the intro. The label you give this schlock is, like I've said before, overly dramatic and fails to make it sound important. No one is going to remember this in the next decade, unless it's a family passing. For the sake of humanity, please don't. Oh, and Farhan, you say, get it off my chest a little too much. To lower the chances of people thinking you're a robot, think of another way to say it.
So, without further ado, let's being.
Let's being. What the hell? You know what? I believe you're angry now. You're so angry you don't even know how to spell check. God damn it, you're making me angry. Okay, chill out, Bracket. I need to calm down. I should probably listen to some down-tempo music. Okay, I'm no longer tensed up. Let's see what you have to say now.
It all started in the March of 2017, as to when I have gotten called out by someone, not mentioning his name because reasons, for intentionally ripping off Yoshi players ran on Happy Tree Friends.
I just love how you're trying to sound innocent by not mentioning the user who grabbed that observation. In this scenario, it's Automagic Critic, who was later mentioned by initials later on. To make this less of a chore, I will be replacing the unmentioned names for the person he's meaning to refer to. Also, we have now introduced one of the two names who is going to be repeatedly tagged in this journal. And unsurprisingly, it's someone he's a fanboy of. Whoop-de-flippin'-doo.
Not only that, but also for copying the thumbnail when he said word per word for out. At first I thought he was making fun of me, judging by the picture he made on me, and then used the whole "it's just a pass" excuse just to get away with it.
Don't freaking remind me.
But then I figured out that was probably a joke. I have then learned from it after I Go Media and I had a talk about it, and then tried moving on from it.
Introducing tagged person numero dos. Skipping a little bit because he actually admits a mistake here. But this is really one of the only ones he will admit throughout the entire thing.
Afterwards, people by the name of Mr. Demon Sawyer in them house has been quote-unquote trolling me for a fault of mine. I'm sure you all know what it is. And I have been called out upon, again, for taking his obvious trolling seriously.
You know what? I can't defend either side on this point. The side that is filled with self-proclaimed trolls isn't really doing much favorable when it comes to helping you out. I'd be neutral towards it if it had lasted around the duration of the original DA spamming that I was partly involved in, but now it's kind of going a little over the edge. One of the few saving graces to it is that In-Dem House made a well-constructed response to you, so there's that. But don't think you're getting any brownie points for this, because you are one of the reasons it has escalated. You went into your infant form and failed to reason with them, which of course they wouldn't listen to anyway. In shorter terms, neither of you are right.
More of his shenanigans continued on how I seemed to get called out for copying Ray Rules 96's parody character by the name of Cartoon Person 1212, and they seemed to be referring his persona. Now, no word of a lie here. At that time, I actually didn't realize that I copied CP1212's persona from my old parody account, since I was too stupid to not even realize that.
This may or may not be playing the victim card, but I do have some suspicion. From my recollection, you commented on the Cartoon Person 1212 account before your parody transition hit the scene, and I think it's a load of bollocks that you didn't know of the account's creator or presence. And no, that short time when you two screwed around with the profile pictures poking fun of their creators isn't making me believe this wasn't from some sort of grudge. Hell, Ray Rules was one of the more reasonable critics you went after, which indicates your short temper. However, this probably wasn't intended to dick ride CP1212. Maybe it was a piggyback off of people who did the same thing. Around the same time, users like Frozen Angel made parody accounts in the same mold as Cartoon Person. You know, with the inanimate object resemblance. At least with Ray's parody, people made a meme about him being a basketball. The others didn't. Even if it was indirectly cloned from Cartoon Person, you still ripped the character off.
After being a dick to IGO Media by calling them a quote-unquote backstabber, I have sincerely apologized to him for what I have said to him, and for my plagiarizing actions. Again, although this time I accidentally plagiarized, it was still my fault nonetheless.
Debates are going to erupt in the comment section that Farhan admitted another mistake, but I don't see it as that. How does one accidentally plagiarize someone? Yeah, many people unknowingly plagiarize someone else's words on a test, but there's a hint of an excuse because they didn't know someone else worded it similarly, plus they could usually take it again. For your incident, you knew damn well who most of these people are, so you calling this accidental stealing is a lie. Also, regarding your wording, you shouldn't put air quotes right after you say quote unquote. Not only is it redundant, but it sort of cancels out the sarcasm.
But after that, this is where the drama goes way too far, and this is where I'm going to start becoming furious.
Ah shit, I gotta get the intense music now. This softy music isn't fitting for this commentary whatsoever.